Alrighty, hello everybody, hello everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Football Fan Zone. Um, we do this every week. We review the weekend's action in the Premier League. And today on the show we have the Adams here with us. The Adams, how are you doing? How was your weekend? I'm guessing it was a good weekend as a blue.
Yep, great weekend, man. Great weekend of football. Great weekend for Chelsea fans. Big win, West Ham away, and I think most of the big teams had good, decent results. But yeah, it was a good weekend.
Yeah, well, it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. Yeah, a lot of action, storyline, subplots that we need to get involved into. Yeah, so we saw the big game of the weekend, Manchester City versus Arsenal, ending a pulsating, nerve-wracking 2-2 draw. It was an interesting game. The Adams, let me get your thoughts on the game. How did you see the game? Who impressed you the most? Let me ask you.
Hey, man, like it's like I was saying in the group chat. I think I'm ready for now. I'm convinced that I'm ready for Man City to be done, to be over with. I'm over Man City's success and their win. And I was thinking about it like this. If you don't want your rivals to win, the best way, or the only way, not the only way, but the best way to achieve them is by stopping them yourself, right?
Yeah,
And it looks like we've gotten to that stage where Arsenal have just built this incredible team. And it's hard not to be impressed, right? I hate Arsenal. They're bitter rivals. I never want to see them win. But it's just getting to a point where I'm like, man, and that's the thing about me, is like I can't deny success. Like I can't turn my face and say, oh no, this is wrong or this isn't good when it's clearly good, right? So Arsenal are starting to build a team that it's getting scary. Like it's getting scary for the opposition. I'm really impressed by a lot of things that I see, because I see a lot of Chelsea in them, if that makes sense. This used to be our DNA. Is how we used to get
yeah.
results. It's how we won trophies. And when I see other teams do
The
it,
Jose era. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like it gets my attention. After that Spurs game, I'm like, okay, this is new, this is different, and I seem to be buying into it. Like I understand the feeling the Arsenal fans have. Let's put it that way. Right? They feel like, okay, we're unstoppable. They feel that siege mentality. They feel like, okay, it's us against the world. People are criticizing the way we play. When we win, people don't give us our credits. Referees are trying to take, referees are also against us. That was kind of the mentality that Jose built around Chelsea then, right? It felt like everybody else against us. And so I understand how Arsenal fans see it. I'm like, you know what? Fair play, fair play. I'm not, I don't want you guys to win, but the way you guys are going about it, it's hard for me not to notice, because this is all what I've seen my team do. So yeah, going back to the game, I think the build-up really started from the Spurs game. They had three massive games. They had Spurs away, they had Atlanta away, and they had City away. A lot of people were looking at those fixtures, hoping that at least something will come out of these games. Like we're going to hit watch these three games, and at least one of them will be able to call out something. And really, nothing really came out. Like they won against Spurs, in the fashion that they did. They drew away at Atlanta, and they nearly snatched it at City. As a matter of fact, last season people were saying Arsenal were celebrating a draw at City. But what happened? What happened today? Right, it looks
It
like
was the other,
City.
it seems like the other way around. Like City were the
Yes,
ones celebrating the
City
draw.
were happy to leave with a draw against a 10-man Arsenal. That shows you how far this team has come. I don't see much that this team has to do. I don't see
Yeah.
much. I can't think of course, if we want to be really nitpicking, if we want to poke at things, if we want to be extra perfect, we say, oh, they need to score more goals, they need another striker, they need to have somebody that could deputize for Odegaard. But come on, man, this team, they need their credits. Um, I think it's a matter of time before they win a trophy. It's unfortunate that in this era, and I'm tired of this wokeness. I'm tired of this woke football where if you really just have to play one way. It's our philosophy. We have to attack. We have to play this way. No, you don't have to. Like, it's common sense. You do whatever it is you have to do to get the win. And Arsenal have done that. Yeah, look, we talked about their corner kicks, their set pieces. Now that sends shivers down their opposition's spine whenever there's a corner. It feels like it's a setting goal, or at least almost going to be a goal. So really, really, man, kudos to Ateta. I think he's building a strong team. Of course, they have to win. And now I think we're getting to that point where I don't care. Even if they win, they have to win. Even if it's FA Cup, Carabao Cup, they need to win something now to
Yeah.
just cement this era, because it's extraordinary the work they've been doing. And you just have to see it for yourself to understand. You have to watch the game for yourself to understand. And he had everything that a Premier League game will have. I'm tired of teams showing City too much respect, going there and playing into their hands, and getting rolled over. Yeah, like, it's time to see proper rivalries again. It's time to see, yeah, spicy football. It's time to see something on the line. Enough of that lovey-dovey, Man City, Arteta's boy, we learnt from you. Nah, if you really want to win, you have to take it by force. There has to be some element of hatred in there, right? And now we're starting to see that never really happened. Klopp versus City, it felt like they had too much. They had respect for each other. Like, the respect was a love for each other. But when a team has won so much, that's taken so much from you, there comes a time where you shouldn't, smile, or you have to take it by force. Like, now it has to be war, it has to be business. And the Arsenal boys are showing that. And I don't think they have any problem going forward, contrary to a lot of opinions. I think, come on, man, we saw this team 3, maybe 6, 8 weeks ago, same road teams, 5-0, 4-0, six
Yeah.
nil. I remember right before that, there was talks about, oh, Arsenal can't score. They had
Yeah,
that
you need
patch,
a
I think.
striker. Do you need a
Yeah, they need
striker?
a
Yeah.
striker. They had that patch, and I was also saying, man, these people can't score. But what did they do right after that? Well, so I'm sure that this team will not have any problem scoring goals when they need to score goals against teams that they should be beaten. So it's scary, and I think I'm ready. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to see Arsenal win a title. But one thing I'm ready for is
Will you ever be ready?
yeah, I don't think I'll ever be ready. But if it happens now, I'll accept it, and I'll
Of
be
course,
like,
you just
okay,
have to raise your hands up and say, "Yeah,
yeah.
it's,
And now it's on my team to stop. Like, I've never been that type of rival. Like, of course, like, when it matters and it's just one game, a final, I'm like, okay, let this other team win. But most
yeah,
times, I want my team to do their best to stop our rivals from winning. And we've done that over the years. But
yeah."
now I want it to come back into our hands. I don't want to be rooting. I can't root for City bro. I'm tired of rooting for City. Now City are catching up, or have caught up with us maybe. Like, I'm tired of rooting for them. Like, I'm tired of being happy when City wins a trophy. Like, that's enough of that. I know I don't want to see Arsenal win, but I'm also tired of seeing City win. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but bro, City. I could go on
No,
and on, yeah, but yeah,
exactly. I think I sort of agree with the majority of what you said. I look at just before, like I was saying to you before we started the show officially. Like, I'm looking at Arsenal's defense now, and it looks you're looking at every other, especially the back five, including the goalkeeper David Raya, and it looked very solid. And my friend was just texting me, right? Like, David Raya is a solid buy for us now. Like, he's a gem. Like, he's been superb. Like, over the maybe more than a little over 12 months now. So he's been superb signing. I look at especially look at the left side of the defense. Remember, Arsenal fans are we're always complaining about Zinchenko. Now they have Califiori, solid player,
solid,
you know,
man. Solid.
solid player, and we saw what he did today. He also has that eye for goal as well, which of course is very, very much helpful. And then you're looking at, I think Saliba and Gabriel are the best two centre back pairing right now
Oh
in
yeah,
world football.
I agree.
That there is no argument about that. I don't think there's any argument. Anybody that is arguing that is just being maybe mischievous, or you just want to, stir the pots. I think those guys are the best.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at Julian Timber. Something about football is you just have to sign the right players, right? You just sign the right quality. Just, I don't know, scouting. I don't know, nowadays they say it's the data thing. They look at analytics and whatever they do. Just sign the right players, and then with some sort of good coaching as well. That sort of mix is almost like it's undeniably like lead you to success eventually.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Arsenal now. I'm like, yeah. And the thing about it, Arsenal is now, so City has stopped them from winning the Premier League like 2 seasons on the, like back-to-back seasons now. This is like going to be going into that third season. I'm sure that pressure will be there for them to like, get over the line, especially looking at what rival fans will be saying, taunting them, Arsenal bottle jobs, they never get the job done. I just think they just need to, block out all the noise. Like they just need to believe in their ability. I remember when my team Liverpool were those years when we're going head to head with City. In a title race with City, you just have to be perfect. You just have to be near perfect. That is that is like the recipe for success in title race in Manchester City. I remember that particular season where we won, I think it was 1920. At some point, maybe in November or early December, we're already like almost 15, 16 points. That is what you need to do. That is what you need to do. Like to really, like even at 5 points, you still feel like City is bringing down.
You had to have some luck too. You had to have COVID. COVID had to. You're not always going to. You're not always going to chip that in. You know that I'm always going to chip that in.
I don't care what you guys do. Bring it in. Everybody knows that before the COVID came in, the title was already won. There was nothing that was going to happen, COVID or not. So yeah, I just feel like Arsenal, like they need to also cut out the mistakes they made from last season, right? It's easier said than done. I remember it was Christmas and New Year where they lost, I think, back to back, maybe Fulham and West Ham or so. I remember, Fulham, West Ham, where they lost those back games that cost them the title. And then Villa at home at the Emirates as well. So they just need to, find a way to cut out those sort of, surprising or shocking defeats. I think they are well equipped this time. I look at them, I think they've learned a lot from. And another thing I must say that Arsenal fans will be excited is, so 5 games in this season, Arsenal 3 difficult away games, and they've come out of those games unscathed, which is very, very impressive as well. Aston Villa away, Manchester City away, and Tottenham away. 7 out of a possible 9 points. Really impressive. As in, you could speak all through the show about the accolades for Arsenal. I think they deserve it right now. They're a top team, and they know how to mix it up as well. So they know when to be defensive. And I'm sure when we see them play, maybe for instance, maybe they play Nottingham Forest at home, you see a totally different Arsenal. They're going to switch it up on the attack. They'll suffocate Nottingham Forest. They won't allow them breathe. They press, So Arsenal fans, you guys, feel excited. This could be your year. This could be your year. Hey, as a Liverpool fan, I wish my team was also in the mix, but I watched the games today and I'm like, nah, these are the 2 teams that are going to be going for the title. I just don't see how, unless something miraculous or something strange happens. And that's the thing about football Premier League season, right? Injuries can happen. So what happens? Let me even use this to them. Let me ask you your opinion on this, Adams. Like football, like it's a long season, right? We're looking at what if Arsenal loses one of Gabriel or Saliba? Like, okay, so the guy is out now, fine. They've sort of cool. What if they lose one of those guys? Do you think it affects them? Do you think they will drop 2 points?
Absolutely, it affects them. It definitely affects them. But I think now they're better equipped to deal with it. Remember 2 seasons ago, they had Rob Holding. and whenever they give that excuse, we're like, oh, we don't care, man. Bro, that's your own cup of tea.
Deal with it. Exactly.
But if they lose one of them right now, I think they are better equipped. They have Calafiori, Ben White, I guess Timber, one of those guys, I think, can also play center back. So I think they'll be fine. They will be better off. If it's just like to get over the line, like if they were in a similar situation that they were the first season that they contended, and it was like, let's say 4 or 5 games to the end, and they lose, one of them, and they just need somebody to step in to get over the line. I think you have enough to go. But if it's like a very lengthy injury that happens very early in the season, then it might be difficult for them to sustain that title charge. But yeah, I feel like this is City. This is the first time in a long time that we're seeing a team, or maybe we've never even seen a team that almost has a quality player in every position in Man City. We hardly ever see that happen. Most times when you have a key injury to one of your main guys, the season is almost done for you. It's like, okay, let's forget about this season. Let's focus on next season. Let's try to qualify for Champions League. We know that cups. That's how it has been. But City changed that, right? City changed that because they have this quality in abundance. They have 2 to 3 guys in almost every position that you expect that they'll be okay. But normally in football, if you miss that level of talent in your team, it's almost done for you. So, I look at every other team. If they miss, their key piece, their key player, that's it. It's a wrap for their ambitions that season. They will just try to lower the expectations and try to go for something else. So if that happens to us now, the only team that is above that right now is City. Even if City lose Haaland, we will still expect that they will be okay for some reason. I know they've sold Alvarez, and but City is just that good that we expect that from them. But apart from that, every other team will struggle.
Yeah. Let's quickly touch on City as well. We saw them today. De Bruyne was out injured. Rodri also picked up an injury during the game. He had to be substituted. You're looking at City and you're thinking, could this be? I was last year. I predicted that Arsenal are going to win. It just feels like after a year on year they're going to drop eventually. After some time, fatigue, or maybe they will not have the same hunger or drive. But it just seems like Guardiola is just able to put in that hunger in them. They just seem to always want to go year in, year out. It just seems like it's amazing. And then I'm looking at the City team. I'm thinking, what are the weaknesses, right? It's hard to sort of like it's hard to put a finger around it. You're looking at maybe Kyle Walker. He was a bit shaky in the game today. You're saying Kyle Walker is not longer in his prime. He's looking like maybe age or something that has caught up with him. He's not the Kyle Walker of maybe 2-3 years ago. It's just so hard to pick some sort of weakness. Maybe some people will say, just like you mentioned, Alvarez was sold. Why didn't they replace him? What if Alan gets injured? Where would their goals come from? All those sort of questions. But it just seems like they're not bothered. They always seem to have some sort of answer for any sort of adversity or anything that life throws at them. They're just like, yeah, De Bruyne is injured, fine. Kovacic is there. Gundogan can come in as well. Clutch player. What's his name? The Dutch Nathan Ake is injured. That's fine. Maybe we could use Rico Lewis or John Stones. It's just amazing in terms of the squad depth that they have. It's just like it's crazy. Like every season now, you're looking at the Premier League, you're looking at the Champions League. Man City obviously favorites. In both competitions. So yeah, it's just you feel bad for Arsenal, but City are just competing against this Manchester City team for the title is so difficult. It's so difficult. It's just like it's more of like you're just praying for some sort of blip from them for you to be able to sneak ahead. And even then, it's not. It might not even still be enough.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about City quickly?
I mean, they're a well-oiled machine. Like I said, one of the pillars of their methodology or whatever you want to call it is their squad depth. That is a key principle or whatever, right? That's how they've built this team. So if they lose somebody, there's always a way. There's always somebody else coming up in the pipeline. And we were talking about Haaland's goals. Haaland is a monster. He scores goals for a living.
The guy has already scored 10 goals in
10
September.
goals already. That is somebody's season tally. Where we're saying, man, well done, 10 goals this season, bro. Season, man, you did exceptionally well. But he has already scored 10 goals. That's incredible. But let me tell you something for free. If Haaland can't play tomorrow, City will find the goals. Why are we acting like this hasn't happened before? Hasn't City played without Haaland? Or, bro, Pep has been here for how many years? There have been periods where he didn't have a striker. There have been period, bro, he always has a solution. If Haaland goes down tomorrow, they will struggle a bit, but they will still find the goals. Like the goals will still come. It is Man City. Like, so, bro, this team, every time you say something bad about them, like Uzo said, I think it's one of those things, all these maniacs, all these like extraordinary people, extremely talented people, they're always looking for, just like Ronaldo, Michael Jordan, they want people to count them out. They want people to say, man, these guys can't do it. And they are looking, and that's what spurs them on. They are looking for that extra bit. Today, I saw the hunger in their eyes. You see Haaland today, he looked like he was going to eat them alive. Like, you cannot train. I don't know how they teach these things to those guys at Man City. You walk into that front office or whatever, and you already feel like a City player. I was just watching Kovacic. I'm like, man, this guy feels so different. Like, he feels so different to when he was at Chelsea, and that was like, what, 1 or 2 seasons ago. And he already feels like a born winner, like somebody that is about, nah, man, these people, they're incredible.
But I just want to say, like, today, I think they were fortunate today, to get that draw.
Oh, no, yeah, of course.
They were fortunate today, and they were fortunate today. And this, I think, for the first time in a long while, without, of course, we need to remember that there was no De Bruyne, no Rodri. It just felt like they couldn't break that Arsenal low block. It was just
this is not the first time, though. This is not the first time. They tried to break them down last season as well.
They couldn't.
They couldn't break them down last season. They didn't beat them last season. So it wasn't. I wasn't looking at this game like, if City had lost this game, I would have given Arsenal the credit, but I won't count Man City out. I don't think this is the game. Contrary to a lot of people's opinion, I don't think this is the game that wins the league. They lost to Arsenal last season too. Right, although they didn't lose at Etihad, but I don't think this is just a one-off game. And even if they had lost this game, I will still very much back them to take it to the final day.
That's how insanely, that's how good they are. You can't even write them off. I think I was mentioning, like, even if 5 points ahead of them, you just can't write them off. Because of the sort of like what they've done over the years. Any team that they are leading with 5 points, that team will also still have that fear in them that City's behind you, And it just takes one sort of slip up, one draw or one defeat, and then you just see it all crumble.
Pounce.
I know Liverpool, as a Liverpool fan, I've been there, I've been there. I know there was a time in January, we were like 7 points ahead. All it took was for us to drop points against Leicester at home, and that was it. Drew with Leicester and then went to the Etihad and lost. And before we knew it, I think 5 or 7 point gap was gone. And we never got back. And once City got ahead of us that season, that was it. We couldn't get back in front of them, And you just continue winning. They win, you win, they win. Just like the way it happened last season. They and Arsenal were just going, win, you win, I win. And that was I ended to the end of the season. You just continue having hope on hope, copium that they will drop some points somewhere. Maybe Nottingham Forest to do you.
That's what you don't want to do, man. Once it's out of your hands with City and they are just forget.
It's so difficult. I think I wanted us to also touch on the refereeing issues around the game, but I'll leave that to maybe towards the end of the show. We'll get into that. All right. Let's also move. Let's turn our attention now to your club, your team, the Blues. Chelsea is the color. Chelsea is the name. Blue is the color. It was another good weekend for Chelsea fans. It's now back-to-back victories for Chelsea, back-to-back clean sheets, I think, as well for Chelsea. Chelsea fans are feeling giddy. I think this is the first time I've seen Chelsea fans giddy in almost like 12 months. There's that aura of like, yeah, Chelsea's
Yeah,
back.
optimism.
Optimism. I was somewhere. I was somewhere after the game where a Chelsea fan was saying, "Oh, yeah, if Arsenal drop points tomorrow, we're going to be ahead of them." Why? In fact, I don't want to hear anything. We're now in this. People need to start putting our name in the competition for
Come
the
on, man.
title
Come
race.
on.
That's what victories. Back to back victories don't
Man, it's
do. It
amazing what
feels
a
good.
win can do.
Yeah. So let's get your thoughts on the Chelsea. The mood right now.
Man, like you said, it's been a while. We started a season with this, optimism. I look back to 2 seasons ago. it was very worrying, especially last season. Last season was one that we thought we're going to start better, and it didn't quite pan out that way. So this season, starting this way, of course, like everybody's happy, and with a coach where personally a lot of uncertainties because a lot of us didn't know what to make of the appointments, his style of play, and we almost had to like go study, go look
Yeah.
for Leicester City games, see how he was. But I think so far he's been amazing. I look at his pressers, and one thing that we fault Pochettino for is like last season he didn't have that Chelsea feel to him. He wasn't. He didn't feel like he couldn't command respect from the fans. So, but this guy seems to be able to do that right off the bat. Like he seems to have the right answers to the right questions. Um, and but the funny thing is, last week we were talking about Nicholas Jackson, and a lot of people were complaining, "Oh, Nicholas Jackson, we're not going to get anywhere with this guy. Nkunku should start the next game, this and
Yeah.
that." And he pops up with 2 goals. He pops up with 2 goals, and we act like we don't know this guy. We act like we don't know a lot of our players. I see them doing the same thing to Madueke. They are doing the same thing to Madueke. Oh, Madueke should have passed that ball. Oh, you're so
Yeah.
selfish. The problem with our players is the consistency. Like these guys are clearly good enough. Like most of them, most of the guys that we had from last season, they are clearly good enough. The talent is there, but they lack that consistency. And this will be a team, a regular team this season where maybe are we going to be are some players going to be able to sustain the levels for longer stretches, right? Like we saw with Palmer. Is Jackson able to do that for across 5, 6, 7, 8 games back to back? Then we'll know we're in business. But now going to an away ground where we typically struggle. A West Ham away is being very difficult for. I think last time we won there it's probably 2021 or something, a very long time ago. And to get that result, especially surprising West Ham, because West Ham expected us to come and keep a high line, try to press from the off, but we surprised them. First half, we let them have the ball, and we hit on the break, and we look for very good opportunities to hurt them. They were not expecting us to play that way. And it felt like West Ham never turned up in that game. They never, it was different. Like, is this, they just felt like something was missing. The aggression was not there. We were winning all the second balls. We were like a little bit sharper than them. And that's what you want your team to do on away dates. I like the fact that we're unpredictable. I like the fact that the coach can mix it up. And that's the same thing we're saying about Arsenal too, knowing when to, let the opposition have the ball and knowing how to hurt them. I look at this team. I don't think there are a lot of teams that are better than us on the counter attack or in transition. This team is devastating going forward. Jackson, Palmer,
Yeah.
Madueke, Sancho. Sancho doesn't quite have the pace, but imagine those guys running at you. Those guys have devastating pace, and they can pick the right pass. They can make the right decisions when it matters most. And we saw that, Palmer, Jackson executed it perfectly. Jackson, I can't sing his praises enough. Is somebody we need to support. Like, let's just get that away. He is not going to be consistent over 38 games. It's not possible yet. But he clearly has the minerals. He clearly does. And this is one of those guys that if he lives here, he's going to pick up. Like, you can tell. Like, this guy goes to another club. He will be hotter than fire, man. But yeah, I was really impressed. Another person I'd single out is Rob Sanchez. I think he has started the season really well. Back-to-back clean sheets. I can't remember last time that happened. But yeah, great game.
Great game, yeah, great game from Chelsea. I saw the game and I was sort of impressed with Chelsea. And I think I've always said it to you, like that the Chelsea's attack line, a lot of options, young, pace as well. They just they just need to make sure that they're making the right decisions, especially on the transition. And I think, yeah, Chelsea will be fine. I, I, I wanted to ask you, like, are you joining the bandwagon of title race?
Of course not. Of course not, man. It's what? What? How many games is this season? 4, 5, and
Five games, yeah,
football is so funny. Like things change very, very easily in football.
yeah,
Very, very things change quickly. I'm expecting us to, to have some difficult games. I'm
yeah.
expecting us to have some, difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. Come on, it's a long season.
So you just just because you don't see Chelsea in the title race.
Of
That's what
course
you
not.
just.
Come on, man. That's a. Is that even a joke? Yeah, come on. Like no, we're long ways off those teams, man. We just
Of
it's
course.
top four, man. Top four.
Of course, it's top four. I think it's top four. I think that's the aim, and a lot of Chelsea fans will take that back in the Champions League, where Chelsea fans will feel that they belong. Why not? Why not? In terms of looking at the cup competitions for Chelsea, right? There's the Conference League. I know Chelsea. They've been in the Carabao Cup finals in some 2 seasons or so ago. Last season, I think, as well, against Liverpool. There's the FA Cup. Do you think Chelsea should also maybe prioritize one of these trophy cup competitions as well as a Chelsea fan?
Oh yeah, I think we have a unique position right now because the way our squad is built, we have a lot of players that have a lot to prove. You're looking at guys like Nkunku. You're looking at guys like Joao Felix. Ideally, those guys want to start. Those guys want to be in the starting 11. Those guys have high quality talent that is deserving for them to start.
Yeah,
So it's almost like those are our fringe players. Those are the players that will be playing the cup competitions. And if those guys are turning up on a cup date against Barrow or against Lincoln or whatever, bro, you expect that it's easy for them, right? So I'm expecting this team, especially the quality we have in depth, to challenge or to go for one of those cup
yeah,
competitions. Yeah,
exactly. Have like a decent cup run, like FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and then of course you guys are in the Conference League as well. You're looking at the quality of teams, then you're like, why shouldn't Chelsea win it? And I think
yeah.
Chelsea fans have been saying that if they win the Conference League, they will have that unique European
Bro,
collection. One, I'm sure that's something
I
that
can't wait for this team to win. Like it'll feel different. Like it would feel special because man, we've been in the trenches with these guys, man. Like
yeah.
if these guys can win something, it'll be extra special.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be for a lot of Chelsea fans, who are like in this last few, like maybe I would say in the last decade, I've seen their team always winning, competing in the big competitions, competing in the big prizes. So yeah, I think a lot of Chelsea fans will be, excited to see that come true for their team. Yeah. Um, and is there anything you want to add on Chelsea before we move on?
Not really. I think I said everything. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think too much. I just waiting to see the next couple games, see how it goes.
Yeah, I think up next is I think Carabao Cup. I think
Yeah.
Chelsea are in Carabao Cup. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's turn our attention now to my team, my darling team, Liverpool. It was a good week. Let me not say weekend. It was a good week for
Yeah,
Liverpool.
it was.
After that disappointing defeat last.
So you're back now.
I will not say we are back. I will just
No, I say you're back. You're back with the boys now. You're back with the
no,
boys.
no. I'm just observing. I'm not. My leg. I still one leg in, one leg out because I know this team. Like so, after last weekend's disappointing defeat at home to Nottingham Forest, that really hurt a lot of Liverpool fans, myself included. Losing at home to Nottingham Forest it's like an aberration. And throughout the week we're always hearing for the first time in 50 something years, all those kind of things really hurt a lot of Liverpool fans. But yeah, it's sort of like sowed some sort of a seed of doubt in the minds of many fans and players. Like, okay, well, and we have a difficult, tricky away game against a traditional Champions League AC Milan team, And then when you saw AC Milan take the lead in under 5 minutes, my heart sank. I was like, wow, is this where our season starts to crumble? But fair play to the boys, Ibukunate, Van Dijk, turned up.
I saw one headline: Van Zero. Van Zero. Takes you
Nice. I
back
didn't
to
see
this
that.
complete sports era where you see
I
that.
see Van Zero. Yeah, when you see those headlines, you say, wow. Fair play to whoever did that, but I didn't see it. But yeah, that would have been nice. So it was nice to get back to winning ways. First of all, in the Champions League, and then back in the league this weekend, 3-0 against Bournemouth. Yeah, it was good. And shout out to my guy, Darwin Nunez. He
Now
doesn't
we
score. He doesn't
see.
score tap-ins. He doesn't score tap-ins. He scores bangers.
I was
So
surprised.
yeah,
I was surprised to see him start though. What do you think? What do you think about the
yeah,
Jota versus?
yeah. So that's the thing. I was even going to come to that. Good timing from you. Like, so that's the thing about Liverpool. That's why I feel like that's one of the things I feel is going to make us fall short in terms of joining Arsenal and City in their sort of like title chase, right? I look at our attack line, right? A lot of fans, a lot of rival fans and Liverpool fans are saying, "Oh, Liverpool looks like they have a good." When you look at the front line, you call out the names: Gakpo, Netherlands like international goal scorer, Nunez, Diogo Jota. You're looking at you look at those names and you're like, yeah, this guy Liverpool should be fine up front. But I just look at those names and I feel like they lack that consistency, right? When Salah's goals dries up, because Salah, he always has that patch in his season where he's not himself. It just feels like you're looking at the other guys, say, okay, Gakpo, can you turn up? Nunez, can you turn up? And it just feels like they're not consistent enough. They blow hot and cold. I just feel like I have my worry around that. That is where that's something that worries me a lot. I'm like, this is where my fall short, because there are some games like that Nottingham Forest game. Salah is not having a good game. Gakpo, where are you? Diogo Jota, where are you? So looking at the starting lineup today, I wasn't surprised because when the season started, a lot of Liverpool fans are reaching off Darwin Nunez and said he's not good enough. He should sit on the bench. Diogo Jota is a man. If Diogo Jota can stay fit this season, we'll be fine. But then you're looking at you looked at Diogo Jota in the game against Nottingham Forest. You looked at him against Milan, and you're like, this is not somebody that we're thinking that we're going to be relying on. So I'm sure the manager looked at that and said, okay, Jota, you're not in form, or maybe you need some sort of rest. We have Nunez. Okay, Nunez, start this game. And Nunez repaid the fate the manager put in him, and then, and scored that sweet goal this weekend. And
Missed some regular Nunez sitters.
exactly, it's just because I just think Liverpool fans just have to, live with it for now. It's not going to be. We just be glad when we score. I don't know because the Jota is not. I don't know. It doesn't feel like he's prolific enough. Gakpo as well has off and on days. When Salah is not scoring, where are the goals going to come from? So I think that is something that the coach. So the coach is always going to rotate among that front line, and also you want to keep those guys happy. Of course, you don't want to leave somebody out. So yeah, you play them when you feel they can, and of course, fatigue will come in as well. A lot of cup competitions, the Carabao Cup this weekend, and we've also added Federico Chiesa as well. He came in, so this some few minutes to the end of the game. Also had some nice touches as well, and I'm like, Lord, this attack line is good enough. Why aren't we challenging? But then again, I looked at the game today, Man City Arsenal, and I'm like, nah, we don't have this defensive structure in our team. Right? We have good individuals. Konate is decent. Van Dijk, oh yeah. Robertson is a pro. But that defensive structure is not just there. It's not like, I don't think we're coached that way. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm
just
about to say. You never needed that though. You never needed the structure like that Arsenal has now. It's not like you guys needed that to win.
Well, maybe not. No,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just
I feel I get what you're saying. Like, I don't think you've ever come against that type of opposition in recent years. So Arsenal gives you more to worry about now, like in terms
yeah.
of yeah. So I get it.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So and with the way last season ended as well, where we felt like we were in it for large periods of the season, and then it fell apart. So I think there's divided opinion right now among the Liverpool fan base, right? So if you look at Manchester City and Arsenal fans, I think
Yeah,
100% of them are like, yeah, we're in the title race, we're going for the title. But if you look at Liverpool fans, it's like 50-50. Some Liverpool fans are like, why not? We're also in the title race. I saw some Liverpool fans today saying, "Yeah, this draw is a good result for us. At least the two teams have dropped point." And I'm like, me, I'm on the car. I'm at the other side of the fence, right? I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that we're in the title race with Man City or Arsenal.
it's
So yeah,
understandable.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not like, yeah, we'll take each win as it comes. I think another before I would also like to get maybe your thoughts on Liverpool briefly, but I think another area that also worries me is Dominic Soboslai. Right, I, I don't know what he's. I know I also want to get your view on him as well. Like I always hear that he's young. Oh, last season club did not use him where his strengths are because this guy is his days at Leipzig. He's a good player. He has an eye for goal. He's a captain of his national team. You know, he just when he plays for Liverpool, he just feels like a different player. He feels like he's underperforming. I don't know what the problem is with him. I don't know if it's confidence or maybe it's what the coaches have told him or pressure. Because Slot came out and said, in fact, Slot even called him out like in the pre-match conference before the Milan game and said, Dominic Soboslai, someone playing for me as an attack midfielder should be scoring more goals. And fair play to him, he scored against Milan, but it worries me. I think I need we need more goals from him as well, especially if our front line is not firing. That's where you want your attacking midfielders to come in and chip in the goals. So let me get your thoughts on Liverpool Adams. Are they in a
Um,
title race? What do you think about Dominic Soboslai? What are your thoughts on his slots?
yeah, I think Liverpool. Um, I don't think you guys will be able to sustain it in a title race. I'm looking at, like you said, we're looking at the defensive structure that Arsenal has. That's a different ball game entirely. That's something different. That's something you guys haven't really come against, like in
Yes,
recent, yeah,
yeah.
in recent years.
But
And
let me just add that in 5 games in the Premier League right now, we've considered only one goal. So
I
defense.
mean,
So I know some people will say, "Oh, who have they played? Well, who have he played?" I'm sure that's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Fair point. Fair point.
yeah,
You guys haven't considered a lot of goals, but the sample size is a little. I think it's too small. I think
yeah,
it's too small. And if you look at the chances you guys concede, I don't know. I've not watched a lot of games where you guys struggled. I think I watched the Ipswich first half where I felt like you guys struggled. Um, Also, maybe the Nottingham game. Apart from that, I felt like you guys have done okay. I think you guys will be okay throughout the season. I was really impressed with the Milan performance. You Gakpo on that day was unplayable. Like you said, is
yes,
the consistency with the attack line, and that might even play to your favor because I'm looking at Nunes and Jota. If Jota can stay fit, I think the competition there might be good for you. The competition
yeah,
where one of them knows that, oh, okay, if I come in, I need to do something, because I don't want this guy to take the shirt from me. That might be good. And yeah, so if you guys can get this guy, Diaz is in good goal scoring form. If you can keep it up all throughout the season, I think you guys will be okay. The you guys will push Arsenal and Man City to almost the end. But you fall short because I'm also looking at that's the thing. I'm looking at the squad depth. The
yeah,
squad depth, I don't think is quite there yet. I think you guys, and that's always been the thing for Liverpool, but now is even more apparent. because you have Arsenal in the mix, and Arsenal, the way their squad also is constructed. I feel like if you miss somebody in that defense, especially, it's going to be tough. It's going to be
Van
really
Dijk,
tough.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going
Yeah,
to be tough.
I think one area, I think the area a lot of Liverpool fans are were sad about that we didn't address was that defensive midfield, And this season, right, Ryan Gravenberch
Oh
has
man,
played very
what a
well.
revelation! He's really impressed me. He's
Yeah,
really impressed me.
he was one player I was looking towards this, and I'm like, come on, what do you have for us? And so far, it's so good. He has not disappointed. I'm just wondering. I saw during the week around rumors, right? Oh, in January, Liverpool will still go back to Real
Zubi.
Sociedad for Zubimendi. I like,
Yeah, yes, that sounds very big. I just felt like it felt like a made up story. Like, oh, now he regrets not going to Liverpool,
yeah.
and now he wants to come. I don't know.
I,
I hope
I
it's
don't
true.
think so. I don't believe that. I think a lot of Liverpool fans have just been, some Liverpool fans have been disappointed in the way they behaved around this Zubimendi. Just let it go. The guy doesn't want to come. You see Liverpool fans going camping on his page, camping on watching Real Sociedad games to laugh at them and say, "Oh, you lost." I'm not like, what kind of weird behavior is that? It's childish to me. I find it very childish for me, and I'm like, what? Why are you guys doing that? But yeah, Gravenberch has done well.
Yeah.
But of course, the amount of games that are there to be played, of course, you need to rest.
Even this season with the extra games in Champions League.
Exactly. Can he stay fit throughout those? I know he picked up some injury last season. That is where we'll be looking to look at Wataru Endo, my Japanese warrior.
Come on, man, that guy is not. He's not
Of
good
course,
enough.
he's not good enough. But of course, we'll use him in like so Carabao Cup this midweek. I
Oh
think
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wataru
Those
Endo,
games.
hopefully. But it looks like Slot might not. I don't know if Slot might not have a choice because you can't
Oh
kill
yeah,
him.
he has to play. He has to play those games. He has to
He
play.
has to play. Like he has to play. There's nothing like, oh, you don't fancy him, and Yeah, so so good week for Liverpool. Just to wrap up the Liverpool discourse. Carabao Cup. I was just saying to you before the show started, like Carabao Cup this midweek. I was looking at some of the fixtures, and you're seeing Arsenal has League One tie at the Emirates against Bolton. You see, I think Chelsea has Barrow or something as well, the Stamford Bridge. Man City has Watford. Then Liverpool has West Ham. It feels like I'm not like, why are they giving us a top
Yeah,
Premier
man.
League
I need
team?
all these guys to. I need you guys to, because Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, over the past how many seasons they've been
Yeah,
the main sub. Like, if you guys can, if you can knock you guys, if you guys can get knocked out early, I feel
you
like
start passing your chance. Yeah. So,
okay, maybe we can finally, because I know that Arsenal haven't really taken those competitions seriously. They've not
mhm.
really taken, or maybe the draw that they've gotten haven't been favorable, and obviously they'll favor, like, resting their players for, like, Premier League and Champions League over Carabao Cup. So, man, if West Ham can do us a favor, bro, this guy is fighting for his job right now. Lupitegi, he needs to
Yeah.
do it. Like, he needs,
And
let him do one take one for the team, man. And
as in that game has me worried a bit. I'm like, if Slot goes ahead and makes many changes and he wounded West Ham, it could be a banana skin for us. And well, I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans will console themselves and say, well, Carabao Cup, we won it last year, so fine. If we get
yeah,
knocked out.
you guys can go ahead and go leave, man. Leave early. Leave early, man.
Some Liverpool fans will say, yeah, I think we'll also borrow the phrase from us now. We've got bigger fish to fry. I remember Arsenal getting knocked out
Bigger
last
fish
year.
to fry.
Arsenal getting knocked out last year against West Ham as well, and their fans were like, "Yeah, we've got bigger fish to fry." The Premier League,
Yeah, man. You guys actually do have bigger fish to fry. So yeah,
just leave that.
get that. I mean,
All right. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes for Liverpool. Let's see. Right. Let's turn our attention now then to Manchester United, just across the road from Liverpool. 0-0. We saw them play a 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace this weekend. And Manchester United fans. I saw a lot of Manchester United fans angry. Shouting at the manager. He does not know what he's doing. Bruno Fernandes was poor. What is this? In fact, Bruno Fernandes is not fit to be captain. But football is such a funny game, like we always say.
Interesting.
We saw them dismantle Barnsley 7-0 in the Carabao Cup, and then they were like, "Wow, Manchester United is back." We saw Rashford score in back-to-back games. So he scored against Southampton last week, then scored a brace
Yeah.
against Barnsley this in midweek in the Carabao Cup. So
Yeah.
a lot of Manchester United fans were like, "Yeah." And then Crystal Palace, remember what Crystal Palace did to them last season?
4-0.
4-0. So they were like, "Oh, it's revenge time." Crystal Palace are not as strong as they were. Ulisse has gone. The defender Anderson has gone, So they feel like, yeah, but it ended 0-0. And then it just feels like, yeah, it just is typical Manchester United right now,
Same old story, right?
Same old story for them. Well, I'm happy. Long may it continue. Of course, I don't like Manchester United. And then I think the interesting decision that I wanted to pick up from the game, I think I wanted to get your thoughts on was there's been a lot of flack around Rashford, right? Oh, he's not in form. Why does Ten Hag keep on playing him? And then you see last week he scores against Southampton, scores a brace in midweek against Barnsley, and then you're looking at the team sheet for the game yesterday, and then Rashford is on the bench, and like, isn't it Rashford that seems like he's picking up form? Don't you want him to, like, continue to like discover that confidence that he seems to have lost? Shouldn't he have started? And then he didn't start, and then Manchester United ended up drawing the game and not scoring. And then you have fans saying, "Oh, why did the manager start Rashford?" And I feel like it's that deja vu situation where we will now say, "Oh, as if Rashford started and Manchester United is scored," they say, "Oh, why didn't they start maybe
Yeah.
Ahmad or?"
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you can't get it right. That it happens every time when things are not going well. It happens. Like it happened to Chelsea where they be like, oh, this guy should have started. Then the guy starts. Nothing happens. They're like, oh, that guy should have started. When you start getting mixed up in those type of discussions, just know that it's long. Like it's already when it's like, okay, this week you're blaming one guy for not starting, and then the next week maybe the guy starts and then nothing happens. You just know that that's not really the situation. That's not really the issue. Um, watching that game, to be fair to them, on another day they probably win that game 3-4-0
Yeah,
on another day because they had a lot of chances. I apart from them, which sounds a little dumb because apart from them not scoring, I don't think they did a lot of things wrong. They did a lot well. I was looking at them and I was seeing some really nice patterns. Actually, I saw Dallo inverts. I'm like, okay, this is new. I didn't know Manchester United had this. Dallo was inverting. He was playing some nice passes to Garnacho. Garnacho, man, look, he definitely should be scoring at least one yesterday. I felt like he had a very disappointing game. He was put in a lot of good positions. Maybe you might have a point there in terms of like if Rashford was in a similar position, but let's not forget Garnacho was also coming back of a very good game. He scored 2 against Barnsley as well. I think did he score assist against Southampton, one of the other. So he
yeah,
also
scored against Southampton.
so
Garnacho, yeah.
he's been having a decent game. Let's not forget, Ahmad is somebody that Manchester United fans have been clamoring to get game time. Like, oh man, this guy needs to play this season, and so finally he's getting game time. So I don't see the issue there, right? Maybe Zegzi, and we all know what has happened when Rashford plays as number 9. It goes back to discussion that he's not really a striker against Barnsley. Of course, maybe you can get away with Rashford playing as a number 9. You always get chances. So yeah. The result itself, to me, it's not that crazy. To me,
Hmm.
but just based off context, based off of like Manchester United's history, coming from last season, finishing 8th, their performances, then there's a lot of scrutiny. Crystal Palace team, a very difficult team to face at home. Bro, we drew with them. They came to Stamford Bridge and they drew.
Bridge, I got it. Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, they got a point. It was a similar game. We had a lot of chances, although we scored one. They scored one at the end. But to be fair, I felt like that game they didn't do a lot wrong. They gave away some chances, but they created a lot of chances in that game. yeah, if we're just looking at that game in isolation, you just be one of those games where, okay, it happens in football. We couldn't score. Let's move to the next one. But knowing Manchester United is worrying because they've been in similar situations. They've been in that type of situations a lot. But the Rashford situation is like, man, look, I'm already tired of talking about this guy and Ten Hag. And plus, Ten Hag said he was resting him, or what was the excuse? I can't remember. Game management or something along those lines. Because whenever they called for other guys to start, he was starting Rashford. So it's very funny. You could just tell that all is not well. The fans don't seem to have that connection. They are split, and it's a matter of time, before. Yeah, I think he probably goes. I know we said that last season, but I just want them to keep nicking this type, nicking results, winning. Next game now, maybe they should win like 4. So he keeps his job. We don't want them to feel like, a lot is going on, a lot is going bad. But to be fair, I didn't see a lot wrong in that game. I felt like it was just one of those games, but maybe that's just me.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to the Sancho derby, Chelsea versus Manchester United. That's a date I'm looking forward to.
I don't think he's going to play because he's on loan. So
he's going to be.
yeah,
Oh my goodness!
He's
not going to play.
I would have loved him to play. Look, I think in other leagues they allow loanees play against their parent clubs, which is interesting. I feel like Premier League should allow that too. I think it will bring more spice. Imagine Sterling versus Chelsea.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Some sort of subplots. You have something to prove against his parents' club. That would have been interesting. So I think Manchester United. Well, just like you mentioned, Ten Hag for me. I'm not sure Ten Hag is the man. I'm not sure, but as long as they continue nicking those results, and then Ten Hag will continue using the FA Cup and about this thing to blackmail them. Nobody has won more.
Man. Nobody has. And that's the truth. Let him keep his job. Nobody has won more. If you look at it, nobody has won more. So he's the next best thing after Guardiola.
Exactly. Looking forward to the next weekend Premier League game. It's Man U versus Tottenham. That should be interesting.
Oh yeah. It'll be a very interesting episode. I'm sure we'll have Uzo and George on the show.
And there's no love lost between two of them, I'm sure. That will be interesting. One to look out for. Okay, let's quickly turn our attention then to Tottenham, to Spurs. We saw them come back from defeating a North London derby against Arsenal. They had a bit of a scare in midweek against Coventry City in the Carabao Cup, but they found a way to progress. So they progressed to the 4th round now, and then we saw them again survive an early scare from Mbeumo. Someone said Mbeumo was Mbeumo. That guy is supposed to be in some sort of top conversations for.
I'm telling you, man. I think they need to sign. He needs to go to a top team.
I don't know what people were looking at him. Slots. Okay. Well, yeah, they survived the early scare from Mbeumo, and then they came back to win. Dominic Solanke scored his first Tottenham goal as well, and then Brennan Johnson also scored as well. I know a lot of Tottenham fans have been on his back. Is he good enough to be a Tottenham player? But scored in midweek in the Carabao Cup, scored again in the Premier League. So it seems all is well and good right now for Tottenham. I think the Tottenham conundrum is sort of something that I still can't place my finger around, right? So I know Uzo, regular guest on the show, I think he put his team in the top 4 conversation. And that's something I want to get your opinion on, right? The top 4 battle is going to be very interesting. It feels like there are a lot of 5, 6, 7 teams that are going to be in that mix. Because you're looking at Tottenham, you're looking at Aston Villa, they're also looking good. You're looking at Chelsea, your team. Then you have Liverpool, it's going to be a very interesting battle. But in terms of Tottenham, I don't know if there's anything you want to add about Tottenham. I'm sure you like the Solanke signing. It makes sense to you, right? I know Ange came out during midweek and said they were also looking at Ivan Toney. So for you, Ivan Toney or Solanke, do you think Solanke was a better option?
Um, I think for like age wise, maybe Sri Lanka made sense in the way that they want to play and in terms of like length of how many hits you can give. If Anthony, I feel if Anthony is definitely the better finisher, better striker, better player. But I don't think there's much. Well, don't let me say that. I think there's still a little distance there. Sri Lanka gives them exactly what they need. The way he's able to press the ball, like the way they play. I liked him in some parts of the Arsenal game. I think I felt like he gave Saliba a game. It
Hmm.
was early on in that game. Saliba was struggling. I feel like he is going to be a decent signing for them. But I just remember whenever Ange first joined the league, and is singing his praises. Oh, his pressers are always so fun. We like the way he talks.
Something here is very
Yeah,
refreshing.
very breath of fresh air. And
Exactly.
now it's the opposite. It's just funny for football. It's funny when results don't go your way. But like you said, the top four thing is they always be in the conversation because I don't think there's a team yet that's clearly. I mean, I'll put Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City as the favorite to get top three. But the fourth position, it seems like every other team going for that position is not, quite certain, right? They're not, they've not, they just put their foot forward. They are not, having a strong grip yet. Look at Spurs, Chelsea, still some question marks. We're not sure if this is the real Chelsea. This is going to last throughout the season. Manchester United, the same old Manchester United. So definitely they will be in the conversation. And then there's Aston Villa as well. So definitely they will be there. They will be in the conversation for top four. But they just concede too many chances for me to take them serious. That's just it. Like that Brentford game, they could have easily drawn that game.
Yeah.
Some of those goals were Brentford's doing. Of course, you might say good pressure from Spurs, but there was that goal that Sri Lanka scored. I don't think the way they gave away the ball there. But Brentford, Carvalho, the guy you guys sold to Brentford, I felt like he worried them a lot. He worried Spurs a lot in that game. They just conceded a lot of goals and a lot of chances. And
Yeah.
it's funny that Vicario, that was a corporate at the North London Derby, bailed them out at this game because he made some really top quality saves that kept them in the game. So, yeah, they just concede so many chances. I think that's going to hurt them.
Interesting. I think, yeah, I think that's the annoyance for a lot of Tottenham fans as well. They just feel like their manager is a bit stubborn. He just wants to play that one way, high line press, leave spacing behind, and Premier League teams, they will love that, sit back and then hit on the counter, But fair play to Tottenham. They've navigated a tricky week after that defeat to Arsenal. We've been able to sort of like pull up some back-to-back victories, and then up next for them is Manchester United, which will be very interesting
Now,
next weekend.
whichever one, man, we're eating good. Whichever one, man.
There must be tears that
Yeah,
day,
man.
right?
Yes, man.
What if it's a draw?
I'm on. If it's a draw, man, we take it too, man. If it's a draw, we take it.
Okay. All right. I also wanted to get your thoughts on Aston Villa. Right. That's another team that is really going on the radar, and I think they're doing very well. They deserve some sort of mention from us.
Yeah, they do.
Emery is cooking. They are back in the Champions League. Good result in the Champions League as well. They have some decent players as well. You're looking at or is it Ollie Watkins? Is it John Duran? There's this young midfielder. There's Ramsey. There's another guy. I've
Morgan
forgotten his name.
Rogers.
Morgan Rogers, who I think he was one that ran rings around Party that day
Yeah,
against Arsenal.
yeah, yeah.
You're looking at that, you're like, wow, these guys are. And Unai Emery is a good manager as well. It feels like they're on the up. A lot of Villa fans are like, why shouldn't we be in the title race as well? If you guys are saying Chelsea's in the title race, of course, I'm
Please.
just kidding. Of course, well, yeah, they're doing very well. Decent team. The place is on a high. I think in a few weeks' time in the Champions League, Aston Villa versus Bayern Munich. That's a fixture to look forward to as well. A
I
lot
hope
of
they
them are
get.
like,
I hope they get streamed, bro. I hope they beat them like 4-5, man. I just
See this bad belly man.
because this is Aston Villa team is just well, they've been doing well. I'm not even going to hate on them. I think they've been doing well, but I just hate seeing teams like that in Champions League. Bro, I witnessed a Europa League caliber level fixture, Aston Villa versus Young Boys. That was the Champions League opener. Like this has Europa League written all over it. What are we doing here?
Well, no, Aston Villa deserve to be in Champions League. Fair
Yeah.
play to them, yeah. But yeah, as in, I think I like them. I think one thing about Emery is he doesn't fear any sort of opposition. They'll play the same way, attack. I'm sure the game against Bayern Munich, they're not going to respect Bayern Munich. They're going to stick to their principles. They're going to attack Bayern Munich. It's going to be an interesting watch that particular game. But in terms of the Premier League, fair play to them. They're in there. I think they're maybe third or fourth right now on the table. They're doing very well. Una Emery, top class manager. So yeah, I thought they deserved the mention as well. You want to add anything on Aston Villa?
No. I just want to let me point out my boys, Everton. Those are my boys this season.
Everton.
Yeah, Everton are my boys this season. Don't worry.
Why are Everton your boys this season?
Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. You guys think we're going down this season, right? Don't worry.
Everton are going down, man. I can't wait. Actually, as a Liverpool fan, I'm relishing that.
And as long as they keep Sean Dyche, we'll be fine.
Bro, I just want to say that as a Liverpool fan, I won't forgive my players if we don't beat Everton home and away this season. I think we need to not only beat them, we need to dismantle them. Like anything short of a 4-0. I'm not accepting that. After what they did to us last season, no. That is still in my memory. I need us to make sure that they are relegated. We need to send them down. Yes. So.
Oh yeah. I was just going to say, they've had 3 games where they were leading, and I think they were leading from winning position, and then they lost the game against Bournemouth 2-0 and against Aston Villa 2-0. And this one against Leicester, they actually drew. I think this is their first points, if I'm not mistaken. They actually drew
their first points,
1-1. But one thing I'm sure of is they've been scoring goals. All right. If conceding goals is their problem, then they are fine. Yeah, Sean Dyche. If a Sean Dyche's team's problem is conceding goals, then they will be fine. Usually, it's always scoring goals that is a problem, right? And it's like they've been scoring a lot of goals. They scored how many goals now? I think they scored like 5 goals, which is, it's crazy. So if it's about conceding goals, they will be fine. They will find a way around it. So I'm not worried about Everton, man. So my Everton fans out there, you guys don't worry, man. You're fine.
Are they your dark horses like Chicks to say Chelsea are dark horses?
Yeah, they're my dark horses to stay up. They're my
dark horses to stay
up. Dark horses.
Okay, so who are your dark horses to win the Premier League? Arsenal.
To win, man, it's Arsenal, man. Arsenal are my. You can't call them dark horses because they are real contenders. This league,
Liverpool will be the dark horses then.
Liverpool will be dark horses. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Right. Okay. Right. So I think that's pretty much all the major teams in the Premier League this weekend. Shout out to Southampton as well. Picked up their first point. Although they would have felt disappointed, considering Leighton against Ipswich Town, and then Fulham. Shout out to Fulham as well, defeating Newcastle. Shout out to our Niger brother. It will be, I think I saw where he's one of the top assists Niger assist player. So shout out to him as well. You wanted to add something?
No. Which other game did I see? I think I saw some parts of the Nottingham Forest and Brighton game. Brighton are a serious team. They're a serious team.
And fairly, the youngest manager, and they play exciting.
Yeah.
Good flair players on the wing. Mitoma, Yakuba Minte, Simon Adingra. So they look like
I think we're playing them next. So a tricky game, man. Tricky game at the bridge.
it's a tricky game because they are a team that they would like to keep. They're not afraid. They'll keep the ball. They want to follow you, go ahead toe to toe with you, want to press you. So that should be an interesting game. Chelsea Brighton next weekend. Score prediction. Yeah, Adams.
2-1, man. 2-1. 2-1
2-1,
Chelsea.
2-1 to the Chelsea. All right,
2-1
all right.
Chelsea.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Yeah, Newcastle Man City as well next weekend. That's a tricky game. Newcastle at home, St. James's Park.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one.
Tough one,
Well,
yeah.
Alan to score at least 2.
If we're giving Haaland 2 goals per game, then wow. this guy will get 50 goals at the end of the season. He's not even funny at all. But yeah. That's something to look forward to. Right, the Adams. It was nice doing this with you. Thanks so much.
As always.
We've covered a lot of ground with the Premier League teams. Carabao Cup action this week. Good luck to all the teams involved. We'll see how that goes, and then we'll be back next week to review Manchester United versus Tottenham. I have a feeling some sort of
you don't want to miss that one.
No. We don't want. We're gonna. I have a feeling we might have to get our posters out again. It might be a missing.
No, might be missing.
After that game. All right, guys. Nice on the Adams. Yeah. So, guys, thanks so much for being with us, for watching our video, for dropping us a comment. Also, stay tuned. We have some sort of Niger content coming up very soon as well.
Yes, sir.
For all our Niger people as well. Yeah. Stay tuned. Something very interesting cooking, and yeah, we'll let you know when that is ready. So, all right, the Adams. Nice doing this with you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Take care. See you guys next week.